60 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Coming right up, another fun varsity sports show.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hey, this is Sophie, and you're listening to my dad, Vince. Dad, you owe me $20 now.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man, Vince Delicio. And what's your last name?
It's Delicio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, from the iconic Little White Wedding Chapel on the beautiful Las Vegas Strip. Vince Delicio here, joined by today's broadcast partners. First of all, I want to introduce our UNLV broadcast team. As you guys know, we do internships for students, for aspiring broadcast students, journalism students across the country. And we obviously have our presence in Arizona, but we're also in other states. We've got students at Texas Southern University, at University of Florida, Gainesville, and within Arizona, we're Grand Canyon, Arizona State, University of Arizona, and University of Nevada, Las Vegas, the Greenspun School broadcast media program, and we have 4 talented students with us today. Joining us in our first hour, we've got them 2 and 2. So first hour, we got Angelo Scaturro. Angelo, how are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself, Vince?
The Scat Man. And then we've got Quinton Wilson, the talented former athlete.
Oh, yes,
would you call yourself a former athlete? Are you still pretty? You look like you can still play.
He's not old enough to be former.
And speaking of former, we've got an incredible. I'm like giddy here because this guy was my hero in high school. I don't know if
that
these
just means I'm old, guys.
Yeah, well, I don't know if these interns quite understand the implications here in what we have sitting among us here. This guy was an NFL quarterback for years, for 4 teams. You played for the Redskins, the Raiders, the Bengals, and then you even spent some time at our hometown team
in Arizona.
In Arizona, man.
Yeah,
I hope they paid you well. I don't know that family that owns the team. I don't know if they're.
I played back before pay was what it is today.
Okay,
but that's
all
okay.
right. So it is the man, the myth, the legend. Threw for over 20,000 yards. His name is Jay Schroeder. Jay, you were the epitome of toughness in the NFL. The first thing when I heard that we had the opportunity to bring you on the show, I thought, my God, that guy got the crap beat out of him when he played football. And you played with some great players against some great players in a league, the NFC Eastern Conference, when you were with the Raiders, where you had these defensive players that were like, you were bulletin board material every week. These defenses were, who were some of the guys you played against?
Well, when I was with the Redskins in the NFC East, we faced, the Giants up there twice a year. They had that, the guy that changed the total defense in Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
He wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Then we got to go to Philadelphia, and they just had Reggie White. So that was easy, piece of cake right there.
Right. Oh, exactly.
Then you go down to Dallas, and they got Ed Too Tall Jones, Randy White, and then this rookie named Jeffcoat.
Yeah.
So he turned out okay.
Yeah.
Our break was when we went down and played – the St. Louis Cardinals because they only had E.J. Jr.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, E.J. Jr., right.
And then we got a break in the preseason because we got to play the Bears every year. So that was fun.
Yeah, well, and Mike Singletary, of course, back in that area, and among others, Dan Hampton. And, I mean, how did you, when you would face these guys and you look across the line of scrimmage, what's going through your head?
A lot of things, actually. You've got to figure out what they're doing, who's coming, because all those teams are going to blitz. And, you got to find out which guys are coming. We knew Lawrence was coming 90% of the time. That's what made him so good. And Reggie, you tried to double team him because he would just throw guys out of the way no matter how big they were. But the bottom line was back then, you had to stand there and make plays. You had to make a decision, make the play, and half of my job back then was just being tough enough to stand there.
Did you ever, like in your when the Redskins are negotiating contracts or getting ready for the draft, did you ever say, "Man, you guys, you got to draft me a left tackle, or you got to draft me"? I mean, were you ever involved in those discussions?
I was not. Look, when I was with the Redskins, we played against some great players, but we had great players.
Yeah, you did. You had the Hogs. Yeah.
I had Russ Grimm at left guard. I had Joe Jacoby, 6'9", 340 at left tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get any better than that. And so, we had the guys. It was just a different ball game back then. It was more physical, back then. The rules today have made it so you can watch it on TV, and there's all these athletes running around. So it's a much more aesthetically appeasing game today with the athletes.
And with that, Jay, you talked about, obviously the physicality of the game back then. And obviously in today's era, it's more like quarterback protected. Do you wish you played in that kind of area?
No, I don't wish. Look, I had an absolute blast, and I'd go back and do it again, in a heartbeat. But it was a different game. I mean, I watch the games now, and these quarterbacks are throwing in routes and everything else. Back in my day, if I threw an in route high, Ronnie Lott, Dennis Thurman, those guys, they're knocking your receiver out. Because it was legal. And so you have to be a little more careful. But as I said, today's game is built for television, and it's a lot of fun to watch because you get to see all these athletes. And look, we had these athletes too, okay? But it's a different type that they can, go after and do. They can showcase a little more.
For sure.
And the first thing that you discussed on when we were introducing your career was that you always got the crap beaten out of you. Would you say as a quarterback that was like the aspect of the game that you found most challenging, or was there like another field that was like, it's kind of tough going through this, and if it was challenging, how did you overcome it? How did you work to overcome it?
Well, it was part of the game. It was mandated. The whole game has changed. I mean, look. We had John Riggins at running back. We got a 245, 250-pound running back. Okay, the game was built more back then as kind of the macho, hey, we're going to stand here longer than you and get up. And that was part of the deal with the quarterback, too. You had to stand back there. Like I told the guys, I said, I'm going to be 7 or 8 yards deep, and I'm planted, so I'm not running anywhere. Could I run? Yeah, I ran a 4.5 40. But, once I got past the line of scrimmage, I was fair game. So I knew I had to stay in that pocket.
And then you talked about you're a Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl 22. You guys played against the Denver Broncos, 42-10, and then you got traded right after, to the Raiders after. Before that happened, did you kind of have a feeling that you were going to get traded, or?
Yeah, it was talked about all summer long that the trade was coming. It just took so long to get there because look, that was back before anybody ever got traded, especially quarterbacks. Okay, sure. I mean, Wilma Marshall was the first one to go anywhere as the known free agent. So it was a whole different world. And even Bobby Beathard, the GM, was like, people are going to think I'm crazy if I trade a quarterback that can play. And so it took a long time to get that done.
What were some of the most valuable lessons that you learned from either your coaches or your teammates during your time in the NFL?
You can't do it all. You got to trust on your teammates. Look, I couldn't throw the ball if the guys up front didn't block. I couldn't throw the ball if the guys outside didn't catch it and run the right route. So it's a valuable lesson, and you need other people to do your job well. And hopefully we did it well enough to play in a lot of postseason games and win a championship.
Guys, we are out in front of the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada, right on the Strip here, on the northern end of the Strip. We're joined by former NFL quarterback, Redskins, Raiders, Bengals, Cardinals, Jay Schroeder, as well as our amazing UNLV broadcast team. When we come back from the break, we are actually we're not going to break just yet. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things coming up. So we've got, today is Las Vegas Day here on the Varsity Sports Show. So we've got a report from our very own Ella Wolter-Sanchez on Las Vegas March Madness. Sierra Naess is going to talk a little Minnesota dance team, and then when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by Thunderbird Titans baseball coach Mike Jacobs here on the Varsity Sports Show. Guys, we've got a full hour. Jay, you going to stick around for the hour at least?
I will stick around.
I know
for the
you
hour.
got all these NFL events coming up, all these alum events, handshakes, red carpet things going on, but we appreciate you joining our little show here this morning.
I'm fortunate to be here. We just got to get the wind.
Gosh,
You picked a windy day.
This guy's the greatest. All right,
The wind from the east says you got to stay.
That's
There you
it.
go.
We'll be back here on the Varsity Sports Show, guys. Enjoy the show. We're going to take it right to Ella. Go ahead.
What's up? This is Ella Wolter-Sanchez from Arcadia High School reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. It's March, which means all eyes are on college basketball, whether you're a sports fan or not. People from Barack Obama to the casual everyday person are submitting their brackets and hoping to be the first person to ever have a perfect March Madness bracket. Many places have opportunities to watch the game, but one place in specifically, Las Vegas, there's quite the atmosphere. Already, Vegas is quite the crazy atmosphere with the endless amounts of entertainment on the Strip. However, in the last 10 years, Vegas has been booming in the sports market. When it comes to March Madness, they pull out all the stops to become the ultimate March Madness viewing hotspot. According to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority summary, more than 3.6 million people visited Las Vegas last year in the month of March. Additionally, what is greater for Vegas this year is how big of an event women's basketball is as well. As far as where Vegas to watch, basically every single hotel and casino has got you covered. Every single year, South Point Hotel and Casino sells out their viewing party for March Madness. This year, they have even bigger plans than they had in years previous, with a dozen 20-foot screens with the games, betting stations, and lots of food and beverages. Another place filled with giant screens perfect for the viewing of March Madness is the Circa Resort, where they have 4 specific viewing parties. They pride themselves on being the world's largest sports book, with 3-story-high screens and seats built for long games. March Madness is a great time since it brings people together. Even though there may never be the perfect bracket out there, everyone is still cheering for the love of the game, and what better place to do it than the entertainment capital of the world? For the Varsity Sports Show, this is Ella Wolter-Sanchez. Till next time.
I'm Sierra Naess, student at Grand Canyon University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. This week, I had the chance to speak with Grace Kish, a senior on the University of Minnesota's dance team, where she talked about their team's viral turn section and what made their performance so successful.
It took us about 5 months to get this turn section really feeling solid. We have really heavy practice in December and January, so that time was really key, just for us as a team to come together for the performance and the turn section as a whole. And although a lot of us practice individually outside of, our typical practice times, definitely preparing as a team was the thing that gave us our special edge for this performance.
Along with practices, Kish shares team chemistry was an essential element in their performance.
We're all each other's number one, best friends. We all get along so well, and that's something that is super special about this team and this year in particular, is we all just support each other so well. And that definitely comes out, and you feel that in your performance.
The performance at Nationals was nothing less than spectacular. We will have to watch out for this team as they prepare for next season. I'm Sierra Naess, student at GCU with the Varsity Sports Show.
All right, guys, when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by Thunderbird Titans baseball coach Mike Jacobs. What we came to find out, and where I get a lot of my information, Jay, is from Wikipedia. I don't know if a lot of it is true or not, but I just, I kind of click on that. But you were a high draft pick in baseball. You were a first-round pick and the third player chosen, but you opted out of high school. You opted to go to college, to play at UCLA. We're going to talk more about that when we come back from the break. And so, my gosh, you were a dual sport athlete.
Yeah, back when it wasn't meant to be. So we got it done. We got the rule changed from the NCAA, so it was a lot of fun.
We'll be back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show, live from Las Vegas, the Little White Wedding Chapel. Guys, don't go anywhere. Go Varsity.
Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AA-PAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbeterathletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
Tighten up with Thunderbird Titans baseball on Varsity Sports Show AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And now, here's Titans coach Mike Jacobs.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, live from the iconic Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada, right on the northern edge of the Strip here. It's very iconic. It's a throwback. I feel like, even the maintenance guy, nice guy, his name's Michael. He looks like Elvis. Didn't he look a little like Elvis?
He does.
I think he's the guy that is like the Elvis during these weddings. I got to ask him. Maybe in the second hour we'll see if we get Michael over here. We're joined by NFL great quarterback. Played for the Redskins, played for the Raiders, played for the Bengals and the Cardinals. Jay Schroeder threw for over 20,000 yards in his career, was potentially a professional baseball player, just about there. And we're going to talk and unpack that a little bit later on in the hour. But we're joined on the line by Thunderbird Titans baseball coach Mike Jacobs. Coach Jacobs, good morning, sir.
Hey guys, good morning. Sounds like you're up there in Vegas enjoying March Madness, huh?
Hey, yes, sir. Hey, Coach Jacobs, this is Quinton here with the Varsity Sports Show. I just had a quick question about your guys' four-day run with the Greenway Festival. You guys played phenomenal, and you guys are on a 6-game win streak now. Just how fun has it been for this past week for you guys?
It's just enjoyable to see the growth that I think has been just right on the verge of happening. So it's been good to see over the course of the last 6 games, really the last 4. We pitched very well. We put up some runs, obviously enough to win ball games. But those things that we preach a lot, pitching, defense, have been coming through at this right time of year, so it'll be exciting to go into the second half of the season playing the way we are.
Coach Jacobs, this is Angelo Scaturro. First of all, hope you're staying warm out there and being away from all this wind that we got here in Vegas right now. But as Quinton was saying, with this 6-game winning streak that you guys had, I know that you guys have had a shaky start to the regular season, but now you're on this big winning streak. What do you think was the turnaround moment for this team to start winning all these games? Was it the chemistry in the locker room? Was it the way your guys are playing? Talk to me.
I think some of the sticking to the plan and staying the course with our expectations for fundamental development, and those pieces are coming together finally. So those are some things that I think over the course of the ups and downs, we knew that we were right there. We have the talent, we have the players to do so. Our pitching, like I said, has been much better defensively. We've played better. just that continuation of fundamental development throughout the season, and we just want to continue to see that because we're not playing our best baseball by any means.
And then as you guys prepare to take on Paradise Honors in your second league match coming up soon, how confident are you guys coming into this matchup?
Well, I think winning definitely helps with the confidence. As you guys know, that it plays a big role in the things that are there. But even in the losses, the result was a loss. But we were looking at, hey, are we getting better at the things that we need to improve on and continue with? And we'll continue to do that. We're gonna definitely face a solid team next week. Very coached, but we're going to have our number one at the moment, Chase Benson, on the mound, and he can beat anybody. He beat a great Middleton, Idaho team last Wednesday, and just looking forward to him having another great start on Thursday.
Well, thank you, Coach. Also with that, just as far as I guess, you guys still have the second half of the season still. I guess, it's too early to tell about playoffs, but are there any certain matchups, you're hoping to get to or, play through?
Well, I think it's always beneficial to host the first-round playoff game. So if you're able to do that, that would be something you're looking forward to. Matchup-wise, you're going to have to beat the best to get to the end. So, hell, if you got to face them in the first round, you might as well get them out of the way early and get the confidence going, and you're going to most likely have your eighth on the mound versus their eighth. So that's always something you're looking for with your host. And if you can get in the top 8, you get a first-round bye, which allows you to only have to win one single elimination game to get to the double elimination side of the bracket. So a top 8 position would be ideal, but that's going to obviously be beating the teams that we need to beat from here on out in order to do that.
Thunderbird Titans coach Mike Jacobs here on the Varsity Sports Show. Coach, we'll see you this week. Thanks again for calling in and giving us an update on the team. Congrats on the win streak.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys soon.
All right. I just thought of something. We're joined, we're here at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas with our UNLV broadcast team and former NFL quarterback Jay Schroeder. Jay, as I sit here and these guys were driving by, these interns, you see how new these cars are? One of our interns drives a new Buick. What did you drive in college?
Well, I have to admit, I did have a new car in college because I had my baseball money.
Well,
I signed
money.
my contract.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, you were the exception. I know what I drove, and it wasn't a new Buick, for God's sake.
I actually, if you really want to know, with my baseball money, I went down and I bought the Burt Reynolds Trans Am.
Did you really?
That's what I did. I had
my God.
I had the black Trans Am with the big gold bird on it with the T-tops and everything else, and then people thought.
Man, you got all the women back then, didn't you?
Well, people thought I was crazy because I'm a country boy, at heart and everything else. So I had the T-tops off playing Willie Nelson, and people were looking at me like, "What? Yeah. What is that?"
Wow. You never really stirred up any controversy, did you, back then? If that was the worst thing you did, you played for Terry Donahue, for God's sake.
Yeah, I've been very blessed in my career to play with some phenomenal coaches.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. Some guys that had big influences on me. The biggest influence on me was Homer Smith, who was the offensive quarterback coach.
Yeah.
He coached at Army. He went to Divinity School. But, he was a coach that came and watched me play baseball.
Yeah.
Just so he could try to get me to come play football at UCLA. So that taught me a lot. And then I found out later on in life that he actually wrote a letter to every NFL team on my behalf when I was coming out. Which was pretty special. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Wow, that is amazing. Just a wealth of stories that we've got this morning, and we're going to get to. Do you have anything controversial you could talk about? Anything to kind of mix it up that maybe you don't talk about on the other shows?
There is all kinds of controversy.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, we won the Super Bowl, and Doug Williams played in the Super Bowl and had a phenomenal Super Bowl, and everybody's like, "Oh, you guys hated each other." No, we were just two people that wanted the same job.
Yeah.
There was only one job. So we were competitors. And, everybody forgets that you're out there to compete. And when there's only one job, things don't go well.
Here's a couple of people walking by. I think they're getting married today. Yeah, down there. Okay.
Well, there's the bride down there.
You're going to have to give them some advice, Jay, or warning, I guess. Huh?
They don't want advice from me. I can tell you that. So.
All right, guys, we are joined by former NFL quarterback Jay Schroeder and our UNLV broadcast team here on the Varsity Sports Show. We're going to send it over to our regular segment, the Arizona State University Women's Lacrosse segment with Coach Taryn Van Thof. Take it away.
It's time for Sun Devil Lacrosse Talk with ASU lacrosse coach Taryn Van Thof on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
All right, guys, it is that time for the Sun Devil Women's Lacrosse segment with Coach Taryn Van Thof. Coach, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. Congratulations. Big win in San Diego to kick off Pac-12 conference play. And well, give us a little breakdown of the victory. Big win, and what was it like?
Yeah, I mean, a great start to our Pac-12 conference play. Regular season, I think, we headed to San Diego, and for us, the first half was competitive, but wasn't our best. And things really, took a turn towards the second half when you started to see Sun Devils lacrosse really start to shine. I think we held them to 2 goals in the second half and had an outstanding finishing performance on the offensive end that really carried us through the win.
Well, and more importantly, big confidence boost heading into to today, which we'll get more into here in just a minute. But I really wanted to spotlight another big week. Katie Valley, her 400 save, Pac-12 Player of the Week. What did that mean to you and the rest of the team?
Yeah, Katie had 2 performances this past week with 10-plus saves, and I think, consistency is huge when you're looking at a goalkeeper. Obviously, they can make great saves in any given moment or just make, the saves they're supposed to make. But Katie gets to do both. And that's the exciting bit of watching Katie's play. And she had a fantastic week for us in cage and, hoping that, consistency shines through to set her apart in our game against USC today.
And what's interesting about Katie is that she plays with a motor. She has a lot of heart, and she's not the biggest player on the field, which is not always the norm. The goalkeeper tends to have a little more size. So how has she used a lot of that desire to her advantage when she might be lacking in, say, size of other goalkeepers around the conference?
Of course, she plays big, and if you have the opportunity to meet Katie, her personality is big as well, and so kind of that takes up the most space there in that goal cage. But she's awesome, an awesome competitor, and really fun to watch in cage.
Let's talk about the big one coming up today. Number 17 ranked USC Trojans coming to town. That game you're starting off. That starts at noon today out at your place. Give us a little preview and what we can expect from the Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, USC has a ton of talent on their roster and a ton of returning seniors as fifth years coming in. And so similar to, season past, you're going to see a dynamic offensive threat. And, you'll probably see their zone shine through and through again. And so, knowing what we know, being able to attack certain gaps within their zone and just staying really consistent and together on the defensive end is our goals for the game today.
Let's talk about real quickly knowing what you know and having faced them a few times the last couple of years that you've been with the program and the reputation that USC brings with them. On the offensive end, how strong, how confident do you feel coming in?
I think our kids are really gelling. We're starting to hit stride and feel really confident in, each individual out there. It's not just relying on one person or, having one opportunity on the offensive end. We're getting 2 or 3 shots in a set, and you're seeing it come from 4 or 5 different people early and often. And so I think the exciting part is we're just getting started. And so, they get to, take that and run with it in game day.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. Today, big match against the USC Trojans out at ASU Sun Devil Soccer Stadium. It's the women's lacrosse program in Coach Taryn Van Thof. Coach, congratulations on last week. Good luck today, and we'll look forward to circling back next week.
Great talking with you. Go Devils.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, joined out at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada, with our UNLV broadcast team. We've got Angelo and Quinton, along with former NFL quarterback Jay Schroeder, who's co-hosting this morning with us. And Jay, when we come back from the break, we've got to learn more. We've got to know more. You said you met Ronald Reagan. You spent a lot of time in the White House.
I did.
What was the Lincoln bedroom like? Was that pretty cool?
I didn't.
You got
go
any
there,
stories about that? No. Okay.
No, but
okay.
I can tell you, as a 23-year-old standing next to President Reagan and the President of Saudi Arabia on the back house, the back, lawn.
Did you help
White
negotiate
House,
some peace treaties back then?
I'm going to tell you for sure, I was clueless. That was it.
All right, we're going to be back after the break. Go Varsity. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hello everyone, my name is Kendall Flynn and I am a junior studying sports journalism with a minor in Spanish at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I have been in and around sports my whole life and I'm thrilled to show my passion for sports with the Varsity Media Foundation as a social media manager and technical director this spring.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the Sabercat Report with Saguaro High School baseball coach Joe Muecke. And now, here's the Sabercat Report.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Varsity Sports Show here on 1060 AM KDUS Arizona. We are coming to you live from outside the Little White Wedding Chapel here in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, Nevada. And I got to say real quick, Vince, for someone who's out of state, thank you for actually saying Nevada properly.
Yeah. You know what? I got in trouble for that once on a broadcast last year. There were people walking by and they stopped. And they said, it's not Nevada. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not from here. And they lectured me for 5 minutes, Jay.
You got to learn how to say it. That's right.
My God. It's like, don't take it so personal. It's like we were talking, I don't know, religion or politics or something, and people just got charged up. They don't like that here.
No, we do not like that here.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway. Okay. Continue, please. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here from the Varsity Sports Show. And coming up right now, we've got Saguaro Sabercat baseball coach.
Saguaro.
Saguaro.
Yes,
okay, all right.
There you go. Okay.
The Saguaro Sabercat baseball coach, Joe Muecke, joining us with us right now.
Coach, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are we doing this morning? Sounds like a fun morning and a great place to be.
Oh, we are great here.
How are you doing?
Go ahead,
fantastic.
Quinton. You got a question for Coach Muecke. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So you guys just got done with the Boros Classic. So how fun was that for you guys this past week?
It was a fantastic experience. Playing really elite competition. Playing a school actually out of Nevada. We had Bishop Gorman and Basic High School was in there as well. A couple guys who compete for 5A titles out in your part of the woods, and that's why we do those types of tournaments, is to see how we stack up, and had a great showing, and was really something that kind of set the table for us as far as wanting to have a really good second half of the year.
Yeah, you guys for sure put a beating on Bishop Gorman there, 6-0. But kind of what you're talking about, playing different teams from different states. Kind of, how do you guys, try to measure up when you play schools from out of state?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to see how your pitching is going to kind of line up, where you're at in the global scale of this game. It's grown so much. I mean, Arizona, we get caught up a little bit in the bubble. There's great baseball out here, but we know that there's powerhouses and great baseball being played all over the country. And so it's a real neat opportunity for these, guys at this level to play some of those programs and to have our name in the conversation with some of those programs as well. Is a real feather in the cap and speaks to the hard work of a lot of guys in our squad.
Coach, just looking at the future schedule here, I see that you have a few away games here on the stretch with a little bit of a break coming back home. I just want to ask you, do you feel like it's more nerve-wracking to play at home or more nerve-wracking to play away?
Oh, that's a great question. I actually sometimes feel like the home energy is a little bit different. We love playing on our home yard. It's a pride thing. So you probably say the nerves of kind of rolling out to a stadium, somebody else's yard, and understanding how their field's going to play probably adds a little bit. But I also see some of the ease in that because it's like, hey, let's just get off the bus. We kind of call them business trips, if you will, and we have a game plan we want to go execute. And so sometimes the away games are a little easier because you have less preparation of getting the field ready and making sure everything's on point. And so there's a little gives and takes to both. But as far as from a player standpoint, I think they like playing at home. Home field advantage is always a big part of it.
And going back to what Quinton was saying, kind of a similar question here. Do you feel like that the pressure is on even more when you play teams that are out of state, or do you feel more relaxed?
Ooh, I think you definitely have certain games that add to, the intensity of the moment. But there's a big saying that I have kind of put up on our wall, and that's pressure is privilege. And then I also go with the whole second paradox to that, which is there's no such thing as pressure, right? Pressure just fills tires and makes time. And so if you're prepared, then it's an opportunity for you to go out and showcase how prepared you are. Usually, anytime we're going into an interview or a big test, the more relaxed you are, the more prepared you feel, then you're showcasing where you're at. And so take some of that, alleviate some of those worries, and let them just kind of flow out because it's going to happen however prepared you are. And so we take that and we try to harness that energy and make that a unique experience for the boys and everything that they do in life.
All right. Coach Joe Mickey with the Sabercat report, Saguaro Sabercats baseball. Coach, thanks so much for your time, and we look forward to circling back. Have a great week.
I appreciate it, Vince. Always love when you guys came. You caught a good one yesterday with a no-hitter, so we're looking forward to having you out this week as well.
I can't wait. So, guys, incredible morning so far, and with our UNLV team here out in Las Vegas at the Little White Wedding Chapel, and joined by former NFL quarterback Jay Schroeder, who is also the athletic director and head football. My God, the wind is picking up here. What is going on?
You are in the desert. It will blow.
Holy smokes.
Yes.
But anyway, Jay, you were a multi-sport athlete, and we're going to transition to our next report, but we also want to know more when we come back about your baseball career, your short-lived baseball career. But you were a first-round pick. You made a lot of money. You drove a nice Trans Am. You were living the dream in college, man.
I was having fun. There's no question about it. I was very fortunate.
We're going to go to an off-season report here with the Las Vegas Raiders, brought to you from our very own Sammy Khalaf. Let's go to that report.
Hello everyone, this is Sammy Khalaf with the Wolter-Sanchez School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The news never stops in the journalism industry, including the NFL. Today I will take you through the Las Vegas story of the week, the Las Vegas Raiders offseason. The Raiders are coming off a roller coaster season, finishing with 8 wins and 9 losses. The Raiders had a lot of struggles early on in the season, including the quarterback battle between Jimmy Garoppolo and Aiden O'Connell, the firing of former head coach Josh McDaniels, and the firing of former general manager David Ziegler. The Raiders later promoted former linebackers coach Antonio Pierce to the position of interim head coach. Under new leadership and guidance, Pierce led the team to a better season. After the season's conclusion, the Raiders officially named Pierce as their head coach, the first of many offseason moves. When the NFL free agency period began on March 13th, the Raiders wasted no time signing former Miami Dolphins defensive tackle Christian Wilkins to a $110 million deal for 4 years. The Raiders also re-signed Adam Butler, who had an explosive season for Las Vegas, recording 5 sacks. The offseason hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, however, as former Raiders running back Josh Jacobs left Sin City to sign with the Green Bay Packers on a $48 million deal for 4 years. Last season, Jacobs ran for 805 yards and only scored 6 touchdowns. This is down from Jacobs' best season in 2022 when he ran for 1,653 yards with 12 touchdowns. For years, the Raiders have been hyped up by NFL fans to be a dominant team in the NFL. Unfortunately, it hasn't come to fruition yet. The Raiders have been putting in the work this offseason to expand their team depth. Can they finally become the team fans have been waiting for? We will find out next season. This is Sammy Khalaf with the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning. I'm Alex Schulman with the U of A bringing you your rodeo report. Cave Creek Pro Rodeo started Thursday, March 21st and will end Sunday, March 24th. Thursday night's performance will start off with All Bulls All Night. $1 Million Cowboy Spencer Wright from Utah will be joining us along with other professional bull riders. Gilbert, Arizona Cowgirl and San Antonio Breakaway Champion Danielle Lohman will run Friday in the slack. Lohman is sitting second in the world standings going into Cave Creek. Tiara Gray will also be joining us in the breakaway on Friday night. Gray travels from New Mexico and is currently sitting 8th in the world. The Cave Creek Pro Rodeo is part of the Turquoise Circuit in the PRCA and WPRA and will have $45,000 in added money, along with $2,500 added money in the breakaway roping. The rough stock will be provided by Survey Championship Rodeo Company. I'm Alex Schulman with the Varsity Sports Show, and thank y'all for listening.
Good morning, everybody. This is Jon Melendez from Arizona State University, and for this week's topic, we're going to talk about how Las Vegas has evolved into a new sporting entertainment hotspot. Vegas is known for its extravagant hotels, restaurants, and bright lights. In recent years, the city has invested in sports complexes, starting with the most prominent move in recent football history in the Raiders' move from Oakland to Vegas. The primary reason Mark Davis, owner of the Raiders franchise, stated for making the move was money. The Raiders' time in Oakland was not very fruitful, and the organization was stuck co-parenting an aging stadium, of which was shared with the Major League Baseball's Oakland Athletics. The new Las Vegas Raiders' very own Allegiant Stadium, located adjacent to the Las Vegas Strip, has already hosted world-class entertainment events, including the Pac-12 Championship game and most recently, the 2024 Super Bowl between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. The stadium is expected to generate an income of around $620 million annually. Allegiant Stadium isn't the only buzz in Vegas. When it comes to sporting events, Vegas has also been the hub for Formula One, which hosted the Las Vegas Grand Prix in November of 2023, which was a 50-lap race that took place along the Strip. On 2023, for the first time in the city's history, Vegas hosted the men's NCAA basketball tournament, March Madness, with the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games. They were also home of the 2023 Stanley Cup Finals, where the Las Vegas Golden Knights defeated the Florida Panthers. In just the last 2 years, the city of Vegas, once only known for hosting prestigious boxing and UFC events, now has surfaced as a new destination for the most coveted sporting events in the world. This has been Jon Melendez for Varsity Sports Show. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, live from the iconic Little White Wedding Chapel. Vince here with our Vegas team. We got Angelo, Quinton, along with Jay Schroeder of Washington Redskins lore, and also spent a time with 3 other teams, Raiders, Bengals, and Cardinals. Jay, I do have one question really quick. Jay, you don't talk much about, because it was your final year in the league, your time with the Cardinals. What was that like, that year? I mean, was it basically just as an insurance signing, they needed somebody to step in?
It was very different than that, because I got let go from the Bengals because they wanted to cut my salary, and I was like, nope, I'll just leave.
Yeah.
And then Buddy Ryan called me, because Buddy was the head coach of the Cardinals at the time, and I asked him, I said, why do you want me to come down? And play for the Cardinals. He said, I need a tough guy to run my football team. He said, I spent all those years between Chicago and Philadelphia beating you up, and you kept standing up. And I was like, let's go. So I ended up signing with the Cardinals.
What was your question, Angelo?
And then real quick, Jay, when we were talking off air, you said that you've been a resident of Las Vegas for 6 years now. With the addition of sports and all that, do you think that Vegas has a big potential to be known more than just gambling and stuff like that?
Oh, no question about it. The Golden Knights opened it up big time. Being the first team to come here. This is a sports town. It's not a new sports town. It's always been a sports town. It's just now we have professional teams, and
nice.
So it's great to be a part of.
Guys, stick around. When we come back from the break, we're going to be joined by Saguaro Sabercat brand new head football coach Darius Kelly, and then we'll have a report on the Phoenix Suns from our very own Bradley Clark, and a little more news on Las Vegas and baseball. We'll be back here on the Varsity Sports Show from the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll be back.
Interact with Bob Kemp's poll question on KDUS1060.com. That's KDUS1060.com. And while you're there, check out Bob Kemp's bottom line at KDUS1060.com.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you. The Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Busier than a mosquito in a news colony. I'm listening to Vince at the Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Extra Point with local and national topics, betting lines, and banter. Weekdays 10 to noon on KDUS AM 1060, KDUS1060.com, and the KDUS 1060 app.
All right, guys, so another exciting coaching hire here in the offseason. We are joined by the brand new head football coach of the Saguaro Sabercats, Saguaro High School, Scottsdale, Arizona, and this is Darius Kelly. Coach Kelly, who I met, had a chance to cover his team. I didn't know him at Catalina Foothills, but I knew him after that with the Sonoran Sidewinders of the HJCAC. And Coach, first of all, congratulations. Very excited to work with you again. I'm thrilled beyond belief. And what is this feeling that you have right now?
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable opportunity that I have here, right? I mean, if any of the listeners out there haven't heard of Saguaro, the history, I mean, we've been 14 state championships, the amount of alumni that we've put out of this program, the amount of great people a part of this program, the people that have put their hands on this program throughout the years. It's just an amazing place, right? I mean, everybody has their struggles, right? Every program's going to have their struggles, and it's going to be their ups and downs, right? But that's life, right? And you got to ride the wave, and you got to ride the waves of the low ones, and you got to ride the high ones, and you got to come out of that strong. And that's exactly what we're going to do here, man. And I'm just excited. I'm honored, for one, because of the great place that this institution is, man. It was built on toughness. It was built on integrity. It was built on hard work and sweat. And I'm just honored to be in this position and continue to make this thing go in the right direction.
Let's do a little bit of chronological order here, going back 2 years. Now, I met you in Tucson. I covered a few of your games when you were with the head coach of the Sonoran Sidewinders of the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. And they say that you can judge a man when you watch him when he thinks that nobody is watching. And I did a lot of that when we covered your team because you had some struggles in building a program there of junior college athletes, of recruiting nationally and as well as locally in the Tucson area. And I saw you doing everything from, filling water jugs to, as the head coach, to fixing equipment, to even taping ankles. I mean, and all of the above, and coaching a football team. How did that experience prepare you and mold you into fast forward 2 years right now?
I mean, that experience alone, I mean, it goes all the way back, right? It goes all the way back to my years when I was in junior college myself. Having to go through that time and step into that realm of having to be a self-starter, for one, having to be self-motivated, having to not necessarily listen to somebody asking you to do something, but just stepping up and taking the initiative and get it done. And that's just always what I've done. And I got a lot of experience doing that during that time as a young child. I was 17, 18 years old. Having to run to practice and run back to practice and get to practice on time. No one's forcing you to go to class at that level. So gaining that experience through the junior college level that I was at then, and then stepping into roles of coaching at the high school level, then coaching at the college level, at the D2 level, and having that ability to really wear so many hats and having to learn so many different things and learning from so many different coaches throughout the way. It really has molded me through to get to where I'm at today because of all the hard work that I've done and all the hard work that I've watched with all the great men and leaders that I've had in my life. So it's been pretty amazing, tour and it's just, things don't happen for no reason. So I'm just happy to be where I'm at right now.
Moving forward, obviously lost a handful of players. You lost a quarterback, You lost a running back. You've got players coming back, filling positions. What's the outlook?
Yeah. The outlook is we still have a great roster. I believe the roster that we still have, we keep some things in place. There's no reason why we shouldn't be in the Open or contending for the Open Championship. And that's the goal. There's no other goal here at Saguaro. I don't care what anybody says. That's the number one goal. We've been in the state championship 11 out of the last 14 years, and we're going to continue to make sure we're doing that as much as we can. And the goal is the Open. Right. And we're going to go after it as much as possible. And we're going to go after it full head of steam and not worried about anything else that's in front of us. Right. We're going to worry about 1 week at a time, one game at a time. And we're going to go after it with the roster that we currently have and the men that are in the room that want to be there, the coach and get these kids to where they need to be. That's what we're going to go to fight with. And I'm going to go to war with those guys who want to go to war with me because I'm going to go to war with them every single day.
Let's talk about the admin. Now, obviously, the administration really believes in you and are providing this opportunity based on somewhat on what you did with the program last year, your history, and what you came in and said you were going to do this year. What's it like with this type of an environment and this administration that is willing to surround you with basically with the resources that you need to get it done, but knowing that you got to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, I love pressure. Pressure it brings out diamonds, and I love that. So that's what I love, to be under pressure. I love a situation where someone is counting me out or counting against us. I love it, and then bring it on. So the challenges that we have are going to be great. They're going to be really hard. Because there is pressure to win, but that's all. We have had a lot of pressure through the years here at Saguaro, and we have 14 diamonds to show for it, and we're going to continue to make sure we can make that happen here for sure.
Awesome.
And the administrative staff, I had a lot of time in the past couple of days to really get to know who they are as humans, as men and women, and I think that if we actually really got to know, and I want to make sure that they, as administration, really put themselves out there and let the community know who they are, because they are some great people, right? We all make mistakes. We all do things in life. We all do whatever it is. So, but I feel like if our administration would let them be known in the community,
sure,
everyone will understand what type of people they are and what they want is what's best for the kids. And I'm fully behind it. I'm here. And whatever's happened in the past here is in the past, because we're going forward full head of steam.
Okay, there you have it. Brand new head football coach, Saguaro Sabercats, Darius Kelly. Coach Kelly, I am beyond excited to work with you again. Like I said, had a chance 2 years ago, had a great time working with you. You were very accessible and very transparent with us, and looking forward to continuing that relationship. Saguaro got a good one, and you landed in a great situation. All the best of luck to you, and looking forward to checking back with you soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you always. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Bradley Clark, reporting from Texas Southern University, and today I wanted to briefly talk about the Phoenix Suns. If there's one word to describe the Suns this season, it would be shocking. I say this because over the offseason, the Suns acquired Bradley Beal in a trade with the Washington Wizards in order to form a big three consisting of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. After this move, NBA fans, analysts, and experts all saw them as the biggest threat in the West prior to the 2023 through 2024 NBA season. That's why it's shocking to me and many others to see them currently sitting as the 8th seed in the Western Conference. While I understand that the Western Conference is very tight this year, it's still surprising to see the Suns in this situation. While this season hasn't been exactly perfect for the Suns, they could still make some serious noise come April. As long as they don't fall below the 10th seed in the West, they will earn the right to play in the NBA's play-in tournament. If they make it through the tournament, they will automatically qualify for the playoffs. Until then, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Reporting from the campus of Texas Southern University here in Houston, Texas, Bradley Clark, the Varsity Sports Show.
Stadium in Oakland, and fans complaining about high ticket prices, losing seasons, and lack of finance, which is how the 2011 film Moneyball was inspired, the A's have finally decided it was time to find somewhere new once their lease ends with the Oakland Stadium. This is similar to the Oakland Raiders' move to Vegas back in 2020. When the Raiders decided to move, it also came with the new Allegiant Stadium, which made it really easy for the Raiders to call Las Vegas their home. Although the A's are also supposed to have a new stadium constructed, it is not supposed to be complete until 2028. Their new stadium is going to be right on the infamous Strip in place of the Tropicana, with a project cost of $1.3 billion. Demolition and construction is supposed to begin next month, but it will take about 4 years to complete. Unlike the Raiders, this puts the A's in a situation where they will no longer be able to play in Oakland, but are also unable to play in Vegas due to the construction of their new stadium. Even though the A's are supposed to have a temporary location for their team to play in 2025, they are still deciding where their temporary home will be. There have been thoughts of moving them to minor league ballparks located in Sacramento or Salt Lake City. You might ask, why don't the A's just move to Las Vegas now and play somewhere else until their stadium is ready? Well, the A's, they're keeping their fans patient, so that way they can have a smashing first impression on Vegas, playing in their brand new stadium. What do you think about this? Once again, this is Davis Noble from Grand Canyon University. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
I'm Alexandra Medina with the Varsity Sports Show, and I am proud to tell the stories of players, coaches, and even fans Make sure to tune into the Varsity Sports Show to hear me cover Arizona's local sports.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alicio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060, online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS 1060 app.
Hey, this is Sophie, and you're listening to my dad, Vince. Dad, you owe me $20 now.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Who says that women can't rule the world? The Las Vegas Silverstars of the WNFC are changing the game in women's sports. This is the Silver Spotlight. The Silver Spotlight. Now here's Silverstars head coach, Carrie Walters.
All right, guys, we are very excited to present a familiar partner in that we are back in covering the Women's National Football Conference, the WNFC, and the Las Vegas Silverstars. 2 years ago, if you recall, we were the broadcast team for the Silverstars, and we're doing it again. We are so excited. We'll be kicking off our coverage when they host their first home game of the year on April 13th, but they have a game the week before down in San Diego, and joining us on the line is Silverstars head coach Carrie Walters. Coach Walters, welcome back. It's so great to work with you again, and thanks for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate you having me, and I'm excited to have you guys back as our broadcasting team. We loved it.
Awesome. Coach, I want to talk to you about the last couple of years. Now, you 2 years ago, you played down at in Carlsbad in the postseason, had a respectable season. What I noticed most about the team was the fact that your resilience, you never quit. You end up coming out of the regular season, made it down, and a bit of a controversial ending in that season. But you had a large fan base, and that's what was most impressive, is that you had a lot of support. Tell us about the support of the community the last couple of years.
Well, it's been amazing. It's definitely grown over the last couple of years. We've had, not just family and friends come out, but people that have learned about the team. We have anywhere from 150 to 400 people come to our games, even more, watching us on our broadcast. It's been special because the last couple, probably 2 years, it's really kind of grown exponentially. We had a Las Vegas Silverstars Day named 2 years ago. It's February 25th. The awesome. Mayor proclaimed it Las Vegas Silverstars Day, and we've had one of the news broadcasters, her name is Ozzy, she came out and did a piece on us. We have the Review Journal reaching out to us, to kind of boost, our visibility and provide some community information, like how they can reach us, where they can reach us, what we're about. We love it. I love that women's sports in general. I grew up here in Las Vegas, and women's sports has always been kind of the slow grower. But I do love that flag is picking up now, and the support for tackle and just women's sports in general. The aces are doing great. We have the thrill now. So yeah, it's a great time to be a female athlete. I love just the community support.
Let's talk a little about again the last couple seasons. So last year you were 3-3. The difference between how you ended things last year and coming into this year. What's the difference? What are you expecting, and what's the optimism like among the team and the staff?
So last year was kind of a growing pain year. It was the first year that Coach Dion Lee wasn't with us. So last year it was myself and Ty Rodriguez, the offensive coordinator. And I think where we struggled was the offense that we were running was Coach Lee's offense. It's what we kind of air quote grew up on. We had played in that offensive set for 15 seasons, and but it's not how my mind works, and it's not how Ty's mind works. So in the off season this year, Ty and I sat down and we just kind of revamped our offense from our eyes and our players. So we went out and we didn't actively recruit, but when people reached out to us, we certainly gave our pros and cons as to, what makes us a great organization. So we've picked up a lot of off-season transfers. And I think the difference between last year and this year is this year we upped our professionalism as far as accountability, responsibility, expectations. There is no, middle ground. We're not tolerating, the mediocrity. The mentality is just different this year, and I'm really super excited. I'm really excited. I haven't been this kind of fired up about football since probably my third or fourth season playing, and that was ages ago. So I love football, but I haven't felt this fired up in a while.
Well, you've got a big one in a season opener at San Diego. The Rebellion have always been one of the top teams in the league. As you travel down there and you've faced them every year for the past 4 or 5 years, what are you expecting? What are some of the strengths of the team, even from what you know coming off of last year? Obviously, this will be the first game of the year, so there will be some unknowns. But what are you expecting?
Out of San Diego, smash mouth football. I mean, that's just, that's kind of the type of football that they play. So for us, we just have to be patient in our game. We have to be able to withstand that initial, bullying and that, just aggressiveness that we expect from them, that, trying to get into our mind and, really kind of change the momentum of the game early on. And for us, it's about patience. It's about executing. It's about alignment and assignment, and really focusing on doing our jobs as individual players and as coaches as well. But, we expect it to be a pretty, I would say, average to low scoring game. It's going to be defensive heavy, I would imagine. They're always a great defensive team. And we have probably the best defensive coordinator I've ever coached with and played with. And that goes with when I coached when I coached the high school team and when I've coached in the all-pro games. And our defensive coordinator is really, really intelligent and understands football. So I think that this year our defense is we're going to surprise some people, because we've always been just like a very kind of straightforward, gap defense. And, we don't do a whole lot of fancy stuff. But this year we have quite a few different things up our sleeve that I'm really excited to kind of show.
Awesome. Well, there you have it on today's broadcast here, Las Vegas Day on the Varsity Sports Show. We are joined by Las Vegas Silverstars head coach of the Women's National Football Conference, Carrie Walters. Coach Walters, 2 weeks away from kickoff. Thanks for joining us, and we are looking forward and so excited to be your official broadcast team. We'll circle back with you on game day in a couple of weeks. Good luck, and thanks again for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. Can't wait to see us. I can't wait to see you see us.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. In hour number 2, we're out at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada. The iconic, right on the strip here, on the north side of the north end of the strip. We're joined by a couple of new broadcasters in hour number 2 from UNLV. We have Diego Fernandez and Seth Kordich, along with the Lake Mead Christian Academy head football coach, athletic director. Oh, and by the way, he is a former NFL quarterback that threw for over 20,000 yards. How does somebody throw for 20,000 yards? Jay Schroeder.
Oh, that's just a few seasons nowadays. But back then, what I'm really proud of is a lot of people don't realize back in 1986 with all the rules, the way they were and everything else, I threw for over 4,000 yards, and that was a Redskin record for 20-some years. So we're very proud that we had got it done back then.
That's awesome. I have to ask you, you played on the Raiders with Bo Jackson.
Yep.
What was it like playing with Bo? Bo knows.
Bo knows. As I was telling the guys in the first hour, I told Bo I was Bo before Bo was Bo.
I was going to say, you were Bo before Bo. You were a first-round pick in baseball.
But I will tell you, I didn't run sideways on an outfield fence either. So Bo was phenomenal. The best thing I can tell you, Bo could do it all. He was God blessed him with the ability to do things. I watched the first time I met him, they asked me if I'd stay after practice when he came back from baseball, and they asked him to run a couple of 40-yard dashes. And we were on the grass field, and Bo had his Nike tennis shoes on. He ran the first one in 4.12 and ran the second one in 4.13 in tennis shoes. And the man was 235 pounds. And I was like, and he's on my team? I was like, thank you. So, it was a lot of fun.
I argue with my friends all the time about Bo being the greatest athlete of all time. And in his 40 time, and they're like, oh, it was outdated
Well,
back
I
then.
don't know about all time because, you got Jim Brown's, out there and some of those guys. I don't think Dion's, the greatest. Dion's very good. Okay, there's no question about it. But, Jackie Robinson, you look at some of the guys in the past, they were phenomenal athletes, in that. So, but Bo's definitely up there. Bo was phenomenal.
Jay, I just want to talk to you about your time more in Los Angeles. So we know we had earlier Quinton and Angelo were asking more about your time on the Redskins, but we have this play here that went kind of viral on TikTok, and it was your play actually, and this was back in 1988 you made a 42-yard touchdown pass to Steve Smith. I just want to see if you kind of remember any of this. This has been blowing up recently on TikTok.
Yeah, so I do remember that game. If you want to know for sure, that was my first start for the Raiders.
Wow.
It was a Monday night game,
yeah.
Okay, and Mike Shanahan was a coach. It was his first game back up in Denver, and at halftime we were down 24-0.
Wow.
And to be honest with you, I stunk up the first half. I mean, I had been with the Raiders for about 10 days trying to learn the offense and everything else, and found out we ran that same play twice. Steve Smith scored twice on that same little bootleg play, and we ended up winning the game in overtime 30-27. So we beat John Elway, who I played against in high school, college, and professionally. So that was a lot of fun.
Wow. That's a story for that game. And then my next question for you is, now since you retired and you're going more into like the athletic department of football and these new quarterbacks, I know you were one of the mindset of rough them and beat them up, and nowadays quarterbacks can even do 7-on-7. A lot of mentality coaches have is don't touch our guy, don't touch our guy. Everything's very like quarterback central round, really play the most where you can. How do you feel about that, and how do you feel towards the next team and the next set of quarterbacks?
Well, I think, in today's world, I want these kids to be athletes, number one. And they learn a lot more earlier on than we did, so they get a chance to showcase it. And as I said, the games, the way the game of football is being played and refereed and the rule changes, it opens it up for them to showcase their talents earlier. Last year, our quarterback at Lake Mead was a freshman. He threw 58 touchdowns, set a state record for touchdowns in a season. So, he threw 58, and now he's moved on to go try to play in Texas. So, that's what happens when you have a great year. People move on and try to find bigger and better.
Mm-hmm. So you compare the younger generation to the older generation. How does the talent-wise compare? I know the game's changed. It's more passing now compared to running back then.
Yeah.
What's the talent?
Well, see, I think it's unfair to try to compare. Okay, I think you have to look at the two different eras in the same in their era, because the rules have changed so much and so drastically. People are like, well, they're more athletic. No, we had just as athletic guys back then, but the rules were different, and we had to do different things. But look, it's a lot of fun watching the games now because you get to see the acrobatic plays more regularly than we did back then.
I want to take a moment. Jay, and we were joined by Jay Schroeder, former quarterback, played for multiple teams, best known, in my opinion, for the Redskins and what you did in playing for Joe Gibbs back then. But I want to take a moment to thank you for joining us this morning. I know you got a lot going on, especially now as an administrator and a head football coach. You got a lot going on, and we're going to be doing some games for you this fall out at Lake Mead Christian Academy in Henderson. So excited about it. And I want to thank Lisa Mandel from the National Football Foundation Southern Arizona chapter for helping to kind of broker this deal, because if I'd have called you, you'd have been like, who? What?
Who are you?
Exactly. So thank you so much, Jay, for joining us this morning here on the Varsity Sports Show. We wish you all the luck in the world, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Yeah, come on out and broadcast one of our games. It'll be fun.
All right, guys, stick around when we come back. Buckeye High girls beach volleyball coach Lexi Mendoza here on the Varsity Sports Show. Don't go anywhere. Go Varsity.
Every Monday night, check out Ray Adams as he hosts the Monday Night Golf and Lifestyle Show from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com.
Hi, my name is Michael Beal from Costa Mesa, California, and I'm the only person other than Vince that got the honor of wearing his high school Letterman jacket. And you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Check out KDUS AM 1060 on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD Radio on 100.7 channel number 2.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, live from the Las Vegas Strip, the Little White Wedding Chapel. You guys have seen it. They actually have an Elvis impersonator. I think it's the real Elvis Presley. I think he is still walking around. But there's an Elvis impersonator that is he's part of the crew here, and they perform weddings. There's a what's that called, Tunnel of Love, that you can drive through and get married in your car. They make it so easy, and they make divorce so hard. I don't know. Anyway, we were joined for the last hour and some odd minutes by former NFL quarterback Jay Schroeder. Amazing. This guy, I idolized this guy when I was in high school, and he's a big man. What is he, about 6'4", 6'5"?
6'4".
Yeah, and Diego Fernandez and Seth Kordich. We're joined on the line. We started covering girls beach volleyball, and we have Coach Lexi Mendoza on the line with us from Buckeye, the Hawks. We did our first beach volleyball match. Coach Mendoza, good morning.
Good morning.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the opportunity to cover you guys. It was quite a match against Rodeo this week. You guys have been getting through the season. You have some talent. It's been an incredible year for you. How does it feel coaching beach volleyball?
It's so nice to coach. It's been such a good opportunity, to see the difference from indoor to outdoor, and just how much you have to work together as a team. You have to strive as a whole unit, and it takes everybody to get that program going. So it was nice.
That's awesome. Hey, Coach Mendoza, I had a quick question. You talk about sand to the hardwood. What's the energy like comparing the two different types of playing in the sand compared to the hardwood?
In indoor, it takes 6 girls, to get everything going, and in beach, it's only 2. So the girls have to be locked in, their energy has to be up, and it's actually different from the coaching perspective as well, because in indoor, you can coach every play, you can communicate with them. In beach, you have to be 100% quiet until it's a 7-point switch, and at that switch is when you can communicate with the girls.
Oh,
Wow. Coach Mendoza, thank you for so much for joining us again. Diego Fernandez here. My question for you for today is, what are some unique obstacles and challenges when it comes to beach volleyball? Because very few and far between schools across the country even have the opportunity to play beach volleyball. So what are some unique challenges that come with that aspect on the beach instead of on the hardwood?
I would probably say the challenge is just, not having a lot of competition on our side of the West Valley. Most of the East Valley schools have that and have built the program, started the programs, have like locations in their own courts at their own schools, and we have to play at like a park. So it's very different, but it's cool, to be a part of a new program and a building program.
Wow, the wind is going crazy here. I apologize. But that's awesome to hear about the differences and the challenges and having to be a new program and everything. With going into the second half of this season, how do you guys keep your energy still going? Because I know the games are kind of back-to-back, and you guys just had a little bit of a break. What's the mindset going into the second half of the season?
The second half of the season, we played majority of like our tough teams, teams that are high ranked. So going into the second half, it's just maintaining a level head and staying above instead of playing down to some of our competition level. It's staying high energy and staying up. We have a young program, so it's constantly just building them up. Like, it's okay, you don't understand it yet. It's a lot of work, and then we do have some really good leaders that build them up and talk them through their each set and come and let it be a group effort, so the girls always make it fun.
Coach Lexi Mendoza here on the Varsity Sports Show. I forgot for a second. I heard that cop car coming by. I'm like looking around, making sure we're still safe. Coach, thanks again for joining us here. Girls beach volleyball is in the desert. Coach Lexi Mendoza. Coach, thanks again, and we'll look forward to circling back with you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, guys. So joined by our UNLV broadcast team, Seth Kordich, Diego Fernandez here at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada. What a day, guys! So incredible day, and it's been a lot of fun. You guys having fun?
Oh, absolutely. The only thing I can say is I do.
Yeah. Whatever. That's funny. You're never getting married. Anyway. All right, guys. We're going to take it to our Pacific Northwest report with our very own Tyler Hatala. Take it away.
The Pacific Northwest report.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into the Varsity Sports Show. This is Tyler Hatala from Grand Canyon University reporting in Phoenix, Arizona, bringing you the latest on the Pacific Northwest. March Madness has officially begun, and the first round will consist of the 64 best college basketball teams across the nation, leading up to the Final Four, which will be held in Phoenix, Arizona. Spokane, Washington will also host 8 games in the first 2 rounds and will feature the East Conference 5th seed San Diego State going up against the 12th seed UAB and the 4th seed Auburn facing off the 13th seed Yale. The West Conference will see the 5th seed St. Mary's go up against the 12th seed Grand Canyon University, and the 4th seed Alabama will go up against the 13th seed Charleston. There will be 3 other teams representing the Pacific Northwest, with Gonzaga and Oregon making it into the NCAA tournament as the 5th seed and the 11th seed in the Midwest Conference, going up against the 12th seed McNeese and the 6th seed South Carolina. Washington will also make its appearance into the NCAA tournament with the East Conference as the 7th seed and will be taking on the 10th seed Drake University.
It's officially the postseason, like they always say. Anything can happen, as we've already seen a ton of upsets in the conference tournaments last week. Will we see a team make a historic Cinderella run like we have in previous years? Will we see our first ever complete NCAA bracket? Only time will tell as we make our way through this March Madness. This is Tyler Huckala from Grand Canyon University reporting on the Varsity Sports Show.
This is Jason Goldie from the Cronkite School at ASU, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The 2024 NFL Draft is right around the corner. One Pacific Northwest university in particular, the University of Washington, has a number of excellent prospects for the upcoming draft. Here are my selections for some of the most promising picks. First up is wide receiver Rome Odunze. After a great performance at the scouting combine last month, where he ran a quick 4.5 40-yard dash and made a high 39-foot vertical jump, Odunze is projected to be a top 10 pick, with many projecting him to go 6th overall to the New York Giants. He racked up 1,428 receiving yards this past season. Second is offensive tackle Troy Fautanu. Fautanu is projected to be a mid-first round selection. At the combine, he ran a respectable 5.01 40-yard dash. Third is quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Penix Jr. is coming off a stellar 2023 season, where he threw for 4,903 yards, was nominated for the Heisman Trophy, and won the Maxwell Award. He's projected to be selected in the mid to late first round or early second round. Fourth is edge rusher Braylon Trice. Trice is expected to be chosen in the second or third round. He made 49 tackles and 46 sacks last season. He ran a 4.72 40-yard dash at the combine. Finally, we have wide receiver Jalen Polk. Polk is expected to be drafted in the late second or third round. He caught for 1,159 yards. At the combine, he ran a 4.52 40-yard dash. No matter what happens, as always, the NFL Draft will be full of surprises and excitement. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Jason Goldie.
Good morning. My name is Alexandra Medina, and I'm a sports journalism student from ASU Cronkite. After losing in the Pac-12 championship, the men's basketball team of Washington State University will be on the way to the NCAA tournament after 16 years. The Cougars' number 7 seed are set to play against number 10 seed Drake on March 21st in Omaha, Nebraska. Washington State has never won a national basketball NCAA championship. However, this is not the first time that Washington State has made it into the tournament. In 2008, Washington was the number 4 seed, but its run for the NCAA championship trophy was cut short after falling to North Carolina 68-47 in the Elite Eight. Washington will be finishing the regular season with an overall record of 24-9. Not only was Washington able to clinch 14 of 20 conference game wins, but also several individual awards. Kyle Smith, the head coach of WSU, earned the John R. Wooden Coach of the Year award, and freshman Miles Rice was named Freshman of the Year by Pac-12. Multiple NBA players have come out of Washington, including Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors. While the dream of making it to the NBA remains for the athletes, one goal has always remained for Washington: to cut down the nets for the first time in history. The Nets will hang in Glendale, Arizona for the NCAA championship game on April 8th. WSU fans from all over the country are rallying together to cheer on Washington after waiting 16 years for this moment. Thank you for listening to KDUS AM 1060. My name is Alexandra Medina, reporting.
The Pacific Northwest Report.
Guys, you want to know anything about anything, you talk to the people that keep the lights on at a place. And we're joined by Michael Yenser. He does operations here at Little White Wedding Chapel. We kind of a last-minute fill-in to jump in because you've got a lot of stories about this place. You've seen a lot of crazy stuff. What can you talk about? This is a family program, first of all, so I want to stop you there. But what are some crazy things you've seen or people?
Well, a lot of people are coming here. They're just different ways they come in. They dress different and they act different. But you know what? I've seen a lot of things going on with music, videos and things
Yeah.
like that. So, yeah, really, a lot of strange things happening there, but I can't really tell you.
You can't.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
No details.
All right, next question. Is Elvis truly alive? And if he does he work here?
They don't work here.
Okay.
He's in Graceland up there in his
Graceland.
bedroom upstairs.
Did anybody tell you kind of look like Elvis Presley?
Yeah.
You get that a lot. That and maybe a little Roy Orbison with the glasses.
Oh, yeah.
You get a little Roy Orbison? Yeah,
Little
you're
Johnny
dressed in
Cash.
black. A little Johnny Cash,
Yeah.
too. Are you a Johnny Cash fan?
I hear a train coming.
Now, yeah. I
Rain
love
on fire.
it. This guy is good. He's been walking around, and you're a huge Raiders fan, so it was a real treat for you to talk to Jay Schroeder, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Very nice.
Yeah, from Southern California, so wow.
Yeah, a lot of my family liked the Raiders.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Minnesota Viking fan, though.
Are you?
Ever since I was 15.
Year after year, a disappointment, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? The first one we won was 1963, right?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay.
That's a long time ago.
Oh, it is. Thank you so much, Michael Yenser. So in doing operations here at Little White Wedding Chapel, this facility is beautiful, amazing, very iconic, and you got the Tunnel of Love, too.
We try to keep it going for all the customers that come in and have a good time, you know.
All right. Guys, stick around when we come back from the break. More here on the Varsity Sports Show. Half hour left. We are flying through out at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is Las Vegas Day here on the Varsity Sports Show. We'll be back. Go Varsity.
HD Radio is here for KDUS AM 1060. Check out your favorite shows and games on 100.7 KSLX HD2.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hi, this is former NBA All-Star and coach Doug Collins, and you're listening to the home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hi, this is Rob Maggs, Vince's life coach and surfing coach to the Beach Bum Beal. You're listening live to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS.
Ready to bring KDUS AM 1060 into your home with Alexa?
Hi, I'm Alexa.
Download the KDUS AM 1060 skill and enable. Then say, Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060.
This is where I start my day.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona, out at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada. What a morning, an incredible morning, a lot of stuff. I tell you guys, you miss a minute, you miss a lot. And we're joined by our amazing UNLV broadcast team here. And this, the first hour, we had Angelo Scaturro and Quinton Wilson. Hour number 2, we've got Seth Kordich and Diego Fernandez. Guys, it has been... It's been pretty good, huh?
It's been a morning for sure.
It's been a morning. We've been sitting here laughing, having a great time. And we had a heck of a baseball game yesterday out at Faith Lutheran also. And, Diego, you were on the call for that game. What'd you think? I mean, it was a shutout for one thing.
It was. Faith Lutheran really showed why they were him and why Liberty was they them. I mean, the game was amazing.
Nice with the pronouns there. I like that, too.
Of course. Got to keep it inclusive. But
yeah, of course.
Liberty had a great chance to really make some runs.
Boy. Okay. Well, that being said, we're going to transition to our Northeast report. Take it away.
The Northeast Report.
Good morning, everyone. This is Nash Dara from Arizona State University reporting to you with the Varsity Sports Show. I hope you're enjoying the start of this Saturday morning on KDUS AM 1060. You are now hearing some news about high school hockey that happened this week in the Northeast. Let's go take a look. First in Massachusetts, the high school hockey season has officially come to a close. The final game was played at a packed TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, where the number 1 seeded St. John's Prep took on the number 11 seeded Winchester. Both these teams were on fire coming into this game. Prior to the championship game, St. John's Prep had taken down Xavier and by a score of 4-0, whereas Winchester won a nail-biter 3-2 against the 18 seeded Arlington Catholic. The game started right on time at 5:30 after the rosters were introduced, and what a game it turned out to be, as the game was even at 2 going into the last minute of the third period. But with, I kid you not, less than 1 second on the clock, St. John's Prep forward Johnny Tiggy scored the game-winning goal to put him and his team's season in the storybooks. The goal had to be reviewed to see if there was still time remaining on the clock, and after the review, it had been determined that the goal was good, naming St. John's Prep the 2023-2024 state champions. The victory tour still continues for St. John's, as one of the most dominant high school hockey teams in the country keeps on proving their dominance. Some more news that had happened in the Northeast remains in hockey, and that is Connecticut also just had their state championship game. The game was held at M&T Bank Arena at Quinnipiac University at Hamden, Connecticut. The game was between Notre Dame West Haven up against New Canaan. The game didn't turn out to be as exciting as the game played in the neighboring state of Massachusetts, but it was just as important nonetheless. Notre Dame was able to take the win in this one 4-1, winning their second state championship in 3 years. Their dominance continued this year as they were once again state champions. Thank you all for tuning in with us this morning. If you want to look out for more information about high school hockey in the Northeast, check out the States and Schools websites. I'm Nash Dara, and this is the Varsity Sports Show.
I'm Mason Collins, here to talk about this year's UConn men's basketball team, which is hoping to become the first team to win back-to-back national titles since Florida did it back in 2006 and 2007. The Huskies will be heading into this year's NCAA tournament ranked as a number 1 seed. They finished the season 31-3 and won the Big East regular season and conference championship. In a difficult conference, the Huskies were able to navigate through a complicated schedule and finish the season undefeated at home. After UConn's win versus Marquette to win the Big East championship, head coach of the team Dan Hurley stated that this is the best college basketball team, and there's plenty of reasons to think that. Unlike last year when UConn entered the NCAA tournament as a 5 seed, this team started the season ranked in the top 10 and have been playing dominant basketball up until now. They are solid on both sides of the court, with an offense ranked first in efficiency and 17th in defensive efficiency. They average 81.5 points per game and hold opponents to under 65 points. What stands out about this team is that they are really well balanced and rely on more than just 1 or 2 scorers. Tristan Newton, Cam Spencer, Alex Karabin, Donovan Klingen, and Stephon Castle all average double figures. On the defensive side, the height and length of this team makes it challenging for teams to constantly score. Klingen is 7'2", Karabin is 6'8", and each of UConn's 3 starting guards have a combined 6'5" height. Overall, the Huskies might be the most well-rounded team in college basketball, and it's all thanks to every player and coach on the team. This team is on a mission to get to the Final Four in Phoenix and hoist the trophy once again. With Varsity Sports, I'm Mason Collins.
What's up, guys? Ben Munawara here from ASU, coming at you with the Northeast report on the Buffalo Bills. So let's talk about them. The Bills are coming off another heartbreaking playoff loss and have entered the offseason with more problems than answers, but have already done the first things they should be doing on their to-do list, which is getting younger and reloading instead of rebuilding. But that doesn't come without tough decisions like cutting team veterans such as Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, and Mitch Morse. But they did make some crucial re-signings with guys like Dion Dawkins and Taryn Johnson. Although the only notable outside free agency signing they had was wide receiver Curtis Samuel, it was a great step in the right direction, which is getting Josh Allen some damn help. This last season, we saw Stephon Diggs take a huge step back in terms of production, and Gabe Davis wasn't the reliable number 2 option that we all thought he'd be, but that doesn't matter anyways because he signed a deal with the Jaguars this offseason. The Bills need to take advantage of Allen's prime now, while they also still have Diggs before he falls off the mountain completely. How do you do that? Get a first-round talent-leveled wide receiver to pair with the 2 of them while they still can. A guy like Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell, Ladd McConkey, or Brian Thomas Jr. should do the trick. The NFL has become a passing league, and the Bills are in desperate need of reloading at the positions that will help them succeed in said passing league. And the most important positions for that are wide receiver and in the secondary. As long as the Bills have a healthy Josh Allen, they are always going to be in contention for a Lombardi trophy. They just have to provide him with quality weapons and improve on the defensive side of the ball and modernize especially. I'm Ben Munoera, and that's the Northeast Report from Buffalo.
The Northeast Report. The South Report.
Good morning. This is Alyssa Firestone from Arizona State University reporting on the Varsity Sports Show. Some big news hit for football down in the southeast region of the United States as this Wednesday, the Southeastern Conference established a scheduling format for the 2025 football season. Similar to this year's 2024 SEC football schedule, during the 2025 season, teams will play 8 conference games with one required opponent from the ACC, Big 10, Big 12, or major independent. The 2025 season will be the second year that the SEC championship game will feature the top 2 teams in the 16-team conference standings at the end of the regular season. The SEC announced that the schedule format was approved by a vote amongst the SEC presidents and chancellors last week, with a following recommendation from the league's athletic directors. The full schedule listing the dates of the game will be announced at a later date. To keep up with more football and other sports content, tune in to the Varsity Sports Show. For Varsity Sports, I have been Alyssa Firestone reporting.
Good morning, everyone. This is Kobe Bronstein from Arizona State University reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Professional tennis is continuing its stretch of hard court tournaments in the United States, and all eyes are on the Miami Open at Hard Rock Stadium until March 31st. Here's what you need to know. ATP world number 1 and 6-time Miami Open champion Novak Djokovic is not in the draw in order to better balance his, quote, private and professional schedule. The 24-time Grand Slam champion is shortly removed from a stunning loss in the round of 32 at the Indian Wells Open to then world number 123rd ranked Luca Nardi. Meanwhile, ATP world number 2 Carlos Alcaraz lifted his first trophy this past weekend since last year's Wimbledon in July. The Spaniard's victory at the Indian Wells made him only the second player to win 5 ATP Masters 1000 titles before the age of 21. His first breakthrough moment of his career occurred after winning this event in 2022, and he is the clear favorite to reign supreme once again. WTA world number 1 Iga Swiatek is having a phenomenal 2024 and arrives in Miami after a dominant tournament at the Indian Wells. And get this, she never dropped the set in 6 matches, she never allowed more than 4 games in a set, and she bageled her opponent 6-0 3 different times. The 22-year-old has been the year-end world number 1 the last 2 seasons, showing no signs of regression. Tennis's best collide in the Sunshine State with a star-studded field, making for must-watch entertainment that won't disappoint. I'm Kobe Bronstein from Arizona State University, and you're listening to KDUS AM 1060 Radio.
The South Report.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, and we are joined by Amy Stevens with the Little White Wedding Chapel. Amy, did you realize what you were getting into when you said we could come and do our show here this morning?
I had no idea, but we absolutely love it.
Oh, thank you so much. I know there was some hesitation. I know you did. It took a while to hear back from you. You did your homework, you did your research, and you also prepared this beautiful floral arrangement, this spray. When you asked me what our banners look like and what colors we used, I didn't know that that's what this thing was going to be based on. My gosh.
Well, we have to add some little wedding flair and wedding love to anything we do out here.
You have to give us a little bit of a backstory. This place is iconic. It's got to be, if it's not the first wedding chapel, it's one of the first.
It is. It's one of the oldest wedding chapels in Las Vegas. It was built in 1951, and it is definitely the most iconic wedding chapel in Vegas. There's nothing more famous than the world famous Little White Wedding Chapel.
I mean, what are some of the weddings that have happened here? Just off the top of your head, some Who's who?
Well, in recent years, we have Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Yeah, that first one didn't end well.
Yeah, that was a huge one. But, we've had some sports personalities throughout here over the years as well.
Okay.
Daryl Strawberry was married here.
Wow. Okay.
Sugar Shane Mosley.
Okay.
Heisman Trophy winner Charles Woodson.
Wow.
And, of course, he's on our signage. Michael Jordan was married here.
Wow.
We even have a chapel called the MJ Chapel.
Okay.
Named after him.
This is unique, this Tunnel of Love. Talk to us about the Tunnel of Love.
Yeah, the Tunnel of Love is the first drive-through wedding chapel in the world and in Las Vegas, and it's really special. The founder of Little White Wedding Chapel had a couple coming here to get married, and they were wheelchair bound. They were wheelchair bound, couldn't get it easily out of their car. So she's like, you know what? I'll just come to you to the car and marry you, and thus the idea of the drive-through wedding was born.
Now, obviously, weddings are serious business. Like you don't take this stuff lightly, and this is a business. But you counsel these people, and you obviously you say, look, is this something you're sure about? I mean, you don't just rush to do a wedding, right? I mean, is there a little counseling process involved, or how does that?
We don't do counseling, but we know that all of our couples are in love. Something a lot of people might not realize is that the drunken hangover wedding, that's actually not very realistic. A couple cannot be visually intoxicated when they go to get their marriage license.
That's good to know. Yeah.
And if they get their marriage license and then come here and they're intoxicated, then their minister also cannot marry them. If they married somebody that was visually intoxicated, they could lose their officiant license.
So is there such a thing as beer goggles?
I don't know.
Okay.
We don't do that.
Okay. All right.
But they're not. They could have a cocktail, but maybe not be super.
All right. Big thank you to Amy Stevens from Little White Wedding Chapel. Amy, thank you again. We have to make this has to be a tradition. You have to let us come back. Will you let us come back?
We would love to have you back. This has been so fun for us. So thank you guys.
All right. Guys, when we come back from the break, we're going to be joined by Chef Daryl Phillips with some easy recipes for March Madness. Don't go anywhere. We're on the back nine here of the Varsity Sports Show live from Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas on the Strip. We'll be back.
Need social information about KDUS AM 1060? Try KDUS1060.com, at KDUS AM 1060 on Twitter, and Facebook.com/KDUS AM 1060.
This is Conrad Hamilton, head football coach at Desert Mountain High School. You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
The Varsity Sports Show is once again proud to partner with Grand Canyon University Club Sports in 2023 and 24. Join us in our coverage of GCU Club Sports on Saturday's Varsity Sports Show and the rest of the week. We'll cover hockey, soccer, baseball, rugby, lacrosse, and more. The Lopes are back on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hi, this is Mesa Community College Assistant Athletic Director Mike Lavella and Modern Day Invincible. You're listening to AM 1060, the Varsity Sports Show, the home of all your junior college sports coverage.
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alicio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests, Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS 1060 app. Your caddy, Ray Adams, takes you beyond the 18th hole on Saturday mornings with Great American Golf from 6 to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
It's time for Cooking with Daryl with local food connoisseur Daryl Phillips. Presented by the Varsity Sports Show.
Delicious and tasty.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, live from Las Vegas, the Strip and the Little White Wedding Chapel. And we're joined by an old friend food connoisseur. He's also a bit of a hobbyist in the kitchen. He does an amazing job. He's very humble about it, but a longtime Valley football coach, educator. His name is Daryl Phillips, and this is the Cooking with Daryl segment. We wanted to we bring Daryl back periodically when there's something big going on out there sports-wise. We brought him in for the Super Bowl. He talked about an easy recipe in the Super Bowl. Now we've got March Madness, and Daryl, you ready to talk to us?
You know I am. How you doing?
Good. What do you got for us today? What's the big, easy menu item that you can pass along to our listeners in honor of March Madness?
We're going to go with 3 cheese carnitas nachos.
3 cheese carnitas nachos. Okay, yes, that's even fun to say.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so all right, so take it away. So what do we have in terms of ingredients?
All right, so we're going to need a little nacho cheese, whatever your flavor. I like it with a little spice and a little kick. So they get you a little nacho cheese, a little cheddar cheese, a little Kobe cheese, thinly sliced ribeyes, refried beans, chips, your favorite nacho chip, whatever that may be. Some people like them round, some people like them flat, some people like to scoop them, whatever works for you. A little cilantro, jalapenos, onions, gotta have fresh vegetables, tomatoes, green onion, guacamole, sour cream, and salsa.
Okay, so now from there, is it very simple? Do you pour it all in a big bowl? I mean, what do you do then?
You always want to start with your meat because that's gonna make it. So you want to sear your thinly sliced ribeye or meat of choice, whatever it is. But I like the thinly sliced ribeye. You sear it on both sides, dice it up finely, and then you put that away, keep it warm for when you're ready. You warm your cheese, and then you set up all your fixings. So once you set up all the fixings, you can put the ribs. You can put the nachos together any way you like at that point.
Okay, and how long do you have to with regard to the meat? I mean, do we want it well done? Do we want? I mean, what do we want to do with it?
We want to have it medium. We want to cook it to medium so it doesn't dry out. Okay. We don't want it to dry out, and we also want to be able to reheat it easily without it drying out. So we definitely want to cook it to medium, and then from there you go as far as you want with the seasoning of it. The refried beans generally creates its own natural flavor, and then you add the additives that you like. But like always, the meat, and the way you prepare it makes it go.
Yeah. What's your salsa of choice? You've got a couple of different selections depending on what you're serving as well as your mood, because you can be kind of a moody guy at times, right?
You just gonna call me out there? I can be moody, God. Yeah. Okay. I like the green sauce. I like the green sauce myself.
Okay.
You know, most red sauces come across like the picante. You know, the picante. They're all pretty similar in the gist of it, with the tomato base and all of that type of stuff. But I like the salsa verde, the green salsa verde to top it off with. Gives a little different bite.
Yeah. So, Chef Daryl, do you have any picks? What are your picks for here we are in Vegas? I can put some head to the sports book and put some money down for you. What are some picks that you have in the March Madness?
Oh, you're gonna make it tough for me. So Kansas won. So we're gonna go with Kansas.
Kansas, okay.
Texas.
All right. Okay.
I don't know why. We're taking Texas over Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, you played at UTEP, so you've got a little of that Texas flavor. So yeah.
That probably got something to do with it. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Purdue, if they haven't been eliminated yet.
No, Seth asked about Houston. If you're a fan of Houston.
Oh man, Houston's gonna make a run. Houston's gonna make a big run. If you're trying to make some easy money, run with Houston for a couple rounds. That's a pretty good ball club.
Kelvin Sampson action. Okay. All right. All right. Well, there you have it. So Chef Daryl with Cooking with Daryl and his 3 cheese carnitas nachos. And we'll bring Daryl back. At any time there's a big sporting event going and you need an easy recipe, guys, tune in to Chef Daryl on Cooking with Daryl. Daryl, thank you so much for joining us. Coach Daryl Phillips. Here on the Varsity
no trouble
Sports
down
Show.
there.
No, not at all. Try not to. All right. All right, little Daryl. Thank you so much. Hey, guys. Oh, let's transition. Go ahead, Aaron.
Time for Vince's final word.
All right, there you have it. So, guys, in our final, we got, 5-6 minutes? We can slow it down now and kind of do a recap of the show. So you guys joined in the second hour. What do you think? Let's start with talking a little bit about former quarterback Jay Schroeder. He even showed us the scars on his knees with the knee surgeries that he's had. Man.
Crazy.
13 surgeries, Seth.
Yeah. He said that nowadays that they're better at putting you back together. But they did a good job with him. He's still moving around real good.
Yeah.
He's a great guy to talk to. I had a fun conversation with him. We compared scars. Had a scar on my leg. He said, that's nothing. Showed me the stuff on his neck. I was like,
oh, my God.
Yeah.
And the guy's so big. I mean, he was a quarterback. And when you think of quarterbacks, you think of these little scrawny guys. The guy's 6'4", solid. Did you see the size of his hands?
Yeah,
pretty big hands, yeah.
My hand, and I was like, NFL.
Yeah. And so with regard to some of the other, content that we had, I mean, you had a chance to talk to girls beach volleyball. Have you followed much of beach volleyball?
I have not, no. That was the first time I kind of heard about it. And I'm from the Midwest, so there's no sand out there, no beaches besides the lakes. But hearing about that it's really cool. I like anything new that has to come about when it comes to sports.
Diego, what about you? Thoughts on the show?
Jay was great to talk to. I loved how he gave us the connection between the older generation and the newer generation, and just kind of his thoughts and stuff, both on air and off air. Once again, absolute pleasure talking to Jay. As far as beach volleyball goes, I kind of like the aspect of making it a high school competitive sport. The way I knew it, as a West Coast kind of guy, it's just something you play on the beach as something for fun, not something competitive. So to really see a competitive edge from that, that was kind of unique and fun to listen to.
I gotta ask you both, because it's been an interesting semester and it's been a real learning curve, because you're doing a lot of this stuff virtually. You guys have been going out and doing game broadcasts for us as well. But with me having a difficult time not being physically here, how's the experience been so far with this internship?
I loved it. It's been fun. We have a good team out here.
Yeah.
Carrie, Ray, everybody, and I love going out and going to different high schools and seeing all the young kids coming up, and they're all living their lives still. It makes me feel old, but I love it.
What about you, Diego?
I'll tell this quick little story. We're at Coral Academy. It was their senior night, and we were there covering just like we do any other game. Some schools, they want to talk to us more. Sometimes they want to talk to us less. When the coach, Quinton did an interview with the coach, and all the kids started ramming right behind coach and made it like a little mosh pit, and they thought it was the most exciting things, and we were just doing it as a job. So really seeing high schools like that really appreciate what we do and get an insight for the kids and stuff, it's just an absolute joy and pleasure to see.
Seth, you're going to be graduating soon, right? When are you graduating?
This fall.
You're graduating in the fall. So what are your plans? You're from the Midwest. You're from Illinois. Are you going to stay out here? I mean, what do you want to do?
I'm hoping to stay out here, hoping to get a job, maybe another internship somewhere else, kind of stay out here, stay in the Vegas scene.
Yeah.
This is the sports mecca. I want to stay in sports. I'm putting all my money on Vegas to keep it going.
What about you, Diego?
I would love to stay in Vegas, but wherever the opportunity goes, you go. That's how the business works. Like Jay was even saying, you go to bigger and better when you can, but I would love to stay in Vegas if that's in the cards.
Doesn't get bigger and better than this, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I'm really learning a lot. I'm learning a lot from you guys, and especially kind of the wind is really kicking up here. Even some of the culture of Las Vegas. I mean, outside of the gaming, it's a family community too. You leave the Strip and you're in different parts of this valley, and it's really something. It's interesting. We were in Summerlin yesterday, which is kind of northwest part of town, west part of town, and it's pretty. And then you get into the east with Henderson, and so it's definitely different. But guys, I want to take this time, first of all, to thank our guests. We had former NFL quarterback Jay Schroeder. We had Thunderbird baseball coach Mike Jacobs, Saguaro Sabercat baseball coach Joe Muecke, Buckeye girls beach volleyball coach Lexi Mendoza, food connoisseur Cooking with Daryl's Daryl Phillips, operations manager Little White Wedding Chapel Michael Yenser, Amy Stevens, who does promotions and marketing here. Guys, please be sure and check out all of our archive content on Twitter at Varsity Show, as well as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Thanks to our producer in studio, Aaron Decker. Join us back here next Saturday at 9 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona on the Varsity Sports Show, as well as nationally on the live stream link. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here live from Las Vegas, Little White Wedding Chapel. Vince, out. Hey listeners, Vince DeLisio here from the Varsity Sports Show. We are so excited and honored that you start your weekends off with us. Our team is comprised of very talented high school and college students working toward a future in media. We appreciate your support, and any opportunities that we can to promote your teams or businesses will go a long way toward helping us continue supporting our talented team. We are a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and we use our platform to not only promote all of the great things happening in the world of sports locally and nationally, but also continue to promote and encourage future broadcasters as they grow in this industry. Please consider a tax-deductible donation to the Varsity Media Foundation. To find out more, please email us at info@varsitysportshow.com or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Varsity Sports Show, or on Twitter at Varsity Show. Once again, thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now a nationally syndicated program on the Sports Map Radio Network. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060